Okay, hello. Okay, hello. We are back with some more Sherlock Holmes. Back with some more Sherlock Holmes. Sorry for the echo. Alright, this should be better. Close this real quick. Alright, we're more with some Sherlock Holmes. Gonna continue where we left off. I hope the last save was not too far away. Nope, it wasn't. So we had to hand wrestle this guy, but I felt terribly.
Hello there. Are you Cairns? We've heard I start suit.
Okay, let's try this one again. Yo, this is so hard. Oh, so when he tries, I have to try. This is so hard. Yo, I might have to, yeah, I'm going to skip this because I could be trying this for an hour and I won't succeed.
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
Come on.
I'm ready to try.
Fine.
No, I'm going to skip this one as well. I know it's pretty stupid to skip it, but I'm not gonna succeed. It's clear that I don't understand how to do it.
Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Okay, let's check out. So he's the smoker, he's the other guy. We caught our second. What's
Why
it
do you
called?
say poor? You're not working?
Not a victim, but.
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Ah, of course. It's been a dozen years since I've sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar, and violent too. Swinging those fists of his around. A tyrant, and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she had foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I don't know. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of
All
course. Back in a second. I'm off to the Kazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Where's the toilet at? Is it here? No. How does he not notice
Here it
this?
is. Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
Damn,
I'm done here. It's time
he's
to
such a
leave.
good liar.
Care to lose another 10 shillings?
Alright, where should I go now? Perhaps Scotland Yard? Okay, have we learned anything new to connect? Yes, we did. Yes. Team building can give some motive character. Oh, this is wrong. Right, so clues again. Yes. Or is it not? So we still don't have everything. I think we have to interrogate the one guy again.
I'm not saying another
What am I doing?
Just talk to this guy.
How is the investigation going, Mr. Reynolds?
So what am I supposed to do now? There are no clues left. So where do I go? Perhaps back to Baker Street. Otherwise we should go back to the murder scene. Talk to the woman again.
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you...
Let's have a chat with the wife.
Leave me alone, please.
Well then, who am I supposed to talk to? I have no clue where I'm supposed to go. Can't go back to the pub. So I guess I have to be at the police station. Where else?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
How is the investigation going, Mr. Holmes? Do you have any idea who the murderer is yet?
I do, but I can't tell you.
I'm not saying...
Mr. Holmes?
What am I supposed to do? Are these supposed to be rats? Or so what am I supposed to do? Rats highlights logical conflicts between deductions. They can be resolved by switching to the alternative. So this one's wrong. Why does this one become reds? Right, so what am I supposed to do now? Keeps giving me the option to press B, but draw a clear picture of the crime by forming deductions from the... I've already found the guilty party.
I'm not saying another word.
Where is the deduction space?
I'm not...
Is it at home?
What am I doing here?
Or is it just the inspector?
How is the investigation going, Mr. Holmes? Do you have
Guess
any
it's at
idea who
home.
the murderer is yet?
Perhaps in my room? I've no clue where I'm supposed to go. So where is the deduction room?
My analysis table. It is useful for my work. This is where I keep my poke.
Where the hell is the deduction room? Is it the police station? That room beneath? Track down the guilty party. You have found and utilized all clues in this case. Please proceed to the deduction space and form your conclusion. But where is the deduction space?
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
Should be at the police station. We'll go and have a look. I think it's down this way. Where the hell's the deduction space? What does that even mean? Wait, I'll look it up on my phone real quick. Oh, was it a lucky throw? It wasn't a lucky throw. So Hurtley is the guy in prison right now. It's this guy. Let me check real quick. Yeah, he had nothing to do with the money thing. Yes.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was Liam Hurtley.
That doesn't surprise me. I've never seen a guiltier looking fellow.
He was in love with Judith Carey. It caused a conflict that proved fatal for her husband.
I see. Come on now, let us confront him.
Liam Hurtley, it was you who killed Black Peter. He learned of your relationship with his wife, and he asked that you meet him to share in a drink. Then began the quarrel. He drew his knife, and in self-defense, you took up the harpoon. Lestrade, please put that in your report.
I deny everything. You have no proof.
Calm down and thank your stars that Mr. Holmes just saved your neck.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, chappie. Yes, this was the right choice, I think. Hell yeah. So most people did the same choice. I guess that's a good thing to know. I don't know what should be, but it's like, which game is it again? The Walking Dead, I guess.
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes. As your friend and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is, the one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
Mycroft.
His
Sherlock.
brother.
Oh, Mr. Holmes? Perhaps you don't remember me. I'm Dr. Watson. We met at the Diogenes Club a few years ago. I documented our encounter in a short story I gave the title The Greek Interpreter.
He does remember you, Watson. My brother remembers everything, and that is why he is so valuable to the government.
We're about to depart for the train station.
I know.
You know?
Sherlock, I need your help. There are people who presently threaten both our country and the Crown itself. You must help us with those methods of yours.
Need? Help? Those are not words I would readily associate with you, Mycroft.
I wrote you a letter, but you did not reply. And this is not about politics. It's about people. People similar to those whom you pretend to defend in your petty detective affairs.
Everything is about politics with you, Mycroft. I'm not interested. Have some of your agents, your spies, or worse, undertake this job of yours. You are defending your people, and they have little to do with the people I choose to help, I can assure you.
That's the point. You think exactly as they do.
Who are they?
The Merry Men. He is talking about the Merry Men, a band of idealistic terrorists.
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further.
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary. Dr. Watson, the train conductor, Mr. Parker, is aware that you will be 7 minutes late. You are in the 4th car. The train will be waiting for you. Sherlock, enjoy your time in Staffordshire. And do, please, at least write to me on your return.
He does look very different compared to the series.
Watson, I'll hold a cab for us. We leave in 5 minutes for the station.
Alright, on to the next case.
What a gloomy night. It was warmer inside the waiting hall.
Since the station master told us that the train is about to arrive, we should not have to wait very much longer.
Yes, at last.
Attention! The train is arriving at the station. Please stand well away from the platform edge.
I'll take your bags and your blasted archive suitcase. But, Holmes, the headlight. It's faded away.
Something is wrong. I can't hear any sound from the incoming train.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain what has happened?
I don't know. It's as if the train vanished into thin air.
Holmes, say something.
Quick, fetch a lantern and let us take a look.
It's too dark. Only fog and rails, nothing else.
There is no use in stumbling around here at night. We will come back tomorrow.
Have we already learned something? Nope.
Well, here we are again at Evesham Station. We have a full day ahead. Let us begin our investigation.
I guess we'll start with the outside. Can't go there.
Trains can't just vanish without leaving a
Can
trace.
you
It isn't
move?
possible. Is it, Holmes?
There's nothing here. There's a map.
This map will be useful.
So where are we? We are right here. So it's a train to Nottingham. So it might be down here. Or here. We'll see.
First of all, let us examine the area where the train disappeared.
Oh.
There was a building here not so long ago.
But I don't understand, Holmes. Why would anyone destroy the shed in such a manner?
It was disassembled in great haste. It is most odd.
It definitely is.
This road should lead to the town of Evesham.
So we shouldn't go there.
traces. Let's take a closer look. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches. The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials.
Trains can't just vanish without leaving a trace. It isn't possible, is it, Holmes?
First of all, let us examine the area where the train disappeared. First of all, let us examine the area where the train disappeared.
Well, where did it disappear?
This is the place where we saw the train vanish last night.
Railway sleepers, nothing unusual. A discarded item, possibly thrown from the train. There are no tracks or footprints on the ground. Railway sleepers, nothing unusual. The rails have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here. There are no signs to indicate that the train ran off the track, nor are there any other traces. There is nothing whatsoever. There are no clues. But then, a negative result is also a result.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. No clues, and you're smiling.
Yes, Watson, I do smile on occasion. This mystery appears very promising.
The whole train just disappeared. It's unbelievable.
So I can go this way. Can I now go inside?
A new telegram.
I think we should meet this Mr. Robinson.
First class car. Special wagon. Ordered by Mr. Robinson.
Here is the train set.
So it definitely has something to do with him.
A telegraph.
Why is that important?
Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I remember you. I'm Station Master Everett. You were here last night. So, you are Mr. Holmes, the great detective. Will you be
I shall indeed.
It is extraordinary that an entire train could disappear like that. And to think of all the poor people inside it, the passengers, the driver.
Does he know more? He did know he got the telegraph, so... Sleeves. Wedding ring.
Could you please give us any details about the train?
Well, there was nothing so very special about it. At least not that I can recall. My memory's not what it used to be. However, if you need it, you can have the train composition report. It's inside...
Oh, okay.
According to the train composition report...
That's a highly secure car, ordered by a private party. It is generally to carry something of value. Those wagons have iron walls, you know, without any windows. And they're fitted with a complex key lock.
That is important information. Do you know what was inside?
Certainly not. No, that's private. And it's not my responsibility to allot the wagons to whoever.
It appears that there was a small warehouse near your station, and that it was disassembled. Why is that?
It was burgled overnight about 2 weeks ago. The police have already started their investigation, but I doubt that they'll find anything.
What was inside the warehouse?
Nothing of value. A few 100 feet of standby rails and some spare railway parts. But it wouldn't be easy to steal all of that. Why would anyone want to?
Oh, so that was what heavy tracks were for.
Was there anything exceptional about any of the passengers aboard the train?
What do you mean? Like officials? I wouldn't know. Oh, but now that you mention it, yes, there was something. There was a message from Bridlington station saying that the train had been delayed because of an issue with the passengers. But what kind of problem that they didn't say?
That is interesting. You mentioned a problem at Bridlington station. I should like to visit this station. Could you mark it on the local map?
Of course. It's a suburban railway station. You might take a cab there.
See you later, my good man. Railway post bags. An old locomotive bell. This part is probably from a locomotive.
Locomotive?
This place serves as a storage area for the station.
Pronounces it so weird. Locomotive.
This part is probably from a locomotive.
Locomotive.
This part is probably from a locomotive. This part is probably from a locomotive.
Locomotive. So there's nothing for me to view in here.
The whole train just disappeared. It's unbelievable.
Go in my fucking way. Could I open this? No. does this guy look Chinese? Look at this. Okay, so nothing connects. To Bridlington, I guess. Hey, how you doing? Can't enter this house. So it's gonna be a police station and railway station only. What? The house is so close. Anything to view in here? Nothing at all. Seriously? Nothing? Move.
Railway post bags.
Oh, some more.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day. To whom am I speaking?
My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is...
Are you a representative of this damned railway company? Because I have a complaint.
We are not from the railway company. We are...
Well, in that case, Mr. Shamrock Flomes, please excuse me, but I'm not in the mood for idle chit-chat at the moment.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's probably the guy that ordered the car. I'm guessing.
You must be Mr. Robinson, is that correct?
Yes?
I am leading the investigation of the disappearing train. It would help if you could answer my questions.
Ah, well, all right. I have nothing to hide.
I doubt it.
I presume it was you who placed the order for the special wagon.
Yes. It was to transport my valuable prototype safely to London. My prototype is a revolutionary device. It is capable of producing electricity. I'm a businessman and an engineer. I had already found several potential customers for my invention, but I was very optimistic about the directors' board who were travelling on the train last night.
Mr. Robinson, could you please clarify? Were you traveling alongside your prototype?
Yes, I was. But I had to step off the train. And all because of this stupid station master.
I received a telegram declaring that an important person, a Mr. Bromsby, wished to see you in the waiting room. I merely informed you of this.
Mr. Bromsby is a wealthy gentleman. His interest in my invention was truly unexpected. So yes, of course, I agreed to see him.
It was Mr.
Unfortunately, he wasn't there. I thought perhaps he might have been delayed, so I chose to wait a while.
Or someone
But
portraying
despite
as
my requests, the train left the station without me. Absolutely unacceptable.
The timetable is strict. We cannot wait any longer. The regulations require the train to be on time.
You are an idiot. You will pay for it. I will sue you.
This revolutionary machine of yours, was it very valuable?
For God's sake, sir, it is priceless. It could change the world we live in. And yet, I was selling it for almost nothing. I am a humanitarian, you see. I do not know if I will ever be able to get over this disaster.
We can see that how he
Cannot
treated
believe
the
that
boy.
it disappeared with that damn train.
You mentioned a director's board. Which company do they own?
The Chilean Barcazas Company. I had made an appointment with them. Now they are lost, along with the train and my prototype.
What do you know about the Barcazas Company?
It's a large South American company. They showed a great deal of interest in my prototype, and they seemed wealthy enough to do business with.
Goodbye, sir.
So first he says he's humane, but he yells at the boy, and then he said he wants to sell it for a small price, and then he says that they were wealthy enough.
I will not move from here until I receive my refund.
Contradictions all the way.
A telegraph.
Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am investigating the unfortunate disappearance of last night's train.
I see. I'm Station Master Bertram, but my supervisor has not informed me about this. I do not know if...
Do not worry. I have only a few questions. Station Master Everett from Evesham told us that you reported a problem with some passengers last night.
Indeed. This train is a regular line for those who work at Nottingham. But yesterday, everyone was asked to get off the train here at my station. I've no idea why, and it delayed the train. But the worst of it is that now I have to deal with two furious passengers who are complaining about the company's service. They stayed here the whole night, but people do not usually pay much attention to the regulations, you see. There are very strict and clear rules. Paragraph 234 of Article 2G-43 states that in the event of a complaint, you must...
Yes, thank you. I understand.
Yes, questionable. Ink smudges.
Apart from the passengers disembarking, did you notice anything else that was unusual last night?
I did, and I mentioned it in my report to our higher management on the matter.
What was it?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. The station master's reports are confidential.
Confidential, you say? How long have you been working here?
I've worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
Oh fuck. Oops.
Apart from the What was it?
Sorry. I've worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
Let me speak frankly, Mr. Bertram. Your age and your lack of confidence in your position are quite apparent. You cannot deny that you have only recently completed your studies.
I was at the top of my class.
Listen here, young man. I am aware that you wish to protect yourself behind all these regulations, but I represent the law.
And you are obstructing the investigation of an important case. I would suggest that you cooperate with Mr. Holmes. Think of your career.
Ah, that is... Well, I'll tell you everything. First of all, I scolded the ticket inspector, for it was he who asked the passengers to leave the train. It was not his right to do so. He was very rude. And then, later on, I received a most peculiar telegram from my colleague at Chesterfield Station, the next stop along the line.
What did the telegram say?
Well, that was the peculiar thing. It was almost unreadable. It was full of errors and awfully vague. It was hard to understand if the train had correctly passed that station or not. You can read it for yourself.
We ought to visit Chesterfield Station. We need to confirm if the station master saw the train.
Don't touch anything.
Holmes, how is it even
A telegraph.
Don't touch anything, please.
This is an absolute scandal. It's always the same with these rail companies. No respect for the customer.
Ooh, Ari. What the fuck? There's this fucking fly flying all the time on my hands. It's so annoying.
Please calm down, sir. What is your concern?
Concern? What is my concern? I'll tell you what my concern is. Last night I were on the train as usual with my colleague, heading home. Then along came this ridiculous ticket inspector, who started arguing that our tickets were invalid. He made us get off the train, and he was extremely rude about it.
Were you aboard the train that vanished last night?
Yes, I heard that it disappeared. But I don't care because we would have stopped before then anyway. Our tickets were valid and no doubt about it. And then, to top it all, the ticket inspector pushed everyone else out too, except for a bunch of rich. Well, because their type don't need a ticket.
Can you recall anything more specific about this fortunate group?
Well, yes. They were all foreigners. Spanish-looking toffs with snake eyes.
Goodbye, sir. The
Snake
ticket
eyes.
inspector forced all the passengers from the train except for the directors of the Barcazes Chilean Company.
Okay.
Don't touch anything, please.
the whole train?
a handcar wheelbase. Interesting. It appears that elements of the same construction were scattered everywhere. Watson, please tell me, do you believe in magic?
Of course not, Holmes.
Then you are of the opinion that a train cannot simply disappear?
Well, we both know that that is obvious. Why are you asking such peculiar questions?
A little patience, Watson. You will understand my point quite soon. So, are you quite certain that you saw the train at Evesham Station?
Yes, of course. We saw it coming. The headlights, and heard the whistle.
But that is it. We didn't see the train itself.
But... Oh, Holmes, I'm a little confused.
They use this thing. Dude, if this fly can't fuck off, I might just go and grab something to kill it. Perhaps when I go and take a pause.
Locked.
This thing has been annoying me since yesterday. All day it just comes and sits at your skin. It tingles so much, but it's so annoying. So again, nothing. Like almost all the time. So nothing here.
A fishing advertisement.
This bin is full of empty bottles.
Empty bottles. There was a bottle on the floor back there.
A telegraph.
I had thought that all station masters knew the Morse code, but apparently not.
Oh, so maybe that other message was not readable because it was Morse code. He didn't give it to me though. I think. No, he did not.
How could he fall asleep at work like this? Excuse me, sir. Wake up. Ah, his breath. He must have swallowed half a distillery.
And that explains the how.
By his sleeping off the alcohol, you mean? Wake up, please, sir.
What? The 18-hour 72 train has arrived?
Good day to you. We are investigating the disappearance of last night's train, and we should like to ask you a few questions.
Fishing line. Why would he have that?
Were there any passengers who got off that particular train at your station last night?
No.
Nobody, it seems to me. Although I did not leave my office, so...
No doubt you were very...
You don't say. You can't ever get any peace around here. Now you have to send a telegram each time a train arrives and departs.
Station Master Bertram from Bridlington showed me a strange telegram that he received from you last night. It concerned the train, but it was barely comprehensible.
What? He's a fastidious little twerp, that Bertram. I remember everything quite clearly. It was late, and I was tired, but I did my work. So what? There's no need to be so petty.
What?
What? He's a fastidious little twerp, that Bertram. I remember everything quite clearly. It was late, and I was tired, but I did my work. So what? There's no need to be so petty.
You were not tired, you were inebriated. Tell me the truth now, or I shall not hesitate to document your state in my report.
My friend means that you will end up by being sacked from your position.
All right. So I was drunk. I don't remember all of yesterday, to be truthful to you. Please don't go harsh on me.
Holmes, this man has consumed a considerable amount of alcohol. He's not entirely helpless yet, but...
It will not be long before he is. Obviously, his testimony...
Ah, will I ever get any peace?
So, what am I supposed to do?
Locked. There is no sense in asking the station master to open it. We shall have to pick the lock.
Why can't I ask a key? Oh, that was easy.
These tools were used quite recently. They are still muddy. We should ask about them. Railway post bags. Bags were recently dragged here. French wine, a remarkable vintage. These bottles are too expensive for a station master's wage. They were likely taken from the parcels.
Shameful.
You received those.
The whole train just...
Shut your mouth, Watson.
You have quite a number of dirty tools lying around here.
Ah, yes. Well, thank you for reminding me. I should clean them. Although, might be easier to put them outside. Seems it might start raining soon.
I meant, what were they used for?
Some workers come here and borrowed them from me. They wanted to lift the edge of the railway to one of the stations on the line, so that the water wouldn't come in too close.
Who were these workers?
Well, they didn't seem to be from the company, but they was fine lads. They invited me to share a drink. And whatever it was, it had a kick to it. They wasn't English. No, I don't believe so. But see, they knew just what a man needed to brighten up his dull evening.
Holmes...
Ah, will I...
Dismantled handcar seems directly connected to a mission. Let's reconstruct the handcar to see if it imitates a vanished train.
I should use the appropriate object here. I should use the appropriate object here. I should use... I should use... I should use the... I should use the appropriate object.
What the fuck is the appropriate object? Oh.
I should use the appropriate... I should use... I should use the...
How is that wheel not supposed to go there?
I should...
Oh wow.
So, now here we have the fake train that we saw approaching Evesham Station last night.
Doesn't look much like a train to me.
Be patient, Watson, I haven't finished yet. Try using your imagination. Our train requires only a headlight and a steam whistle.
So where am I supposed to find those? Okay then. Easy enough. Fire extinguisher. Why would I need that? Long pole? Guess I might need them.
I need something long. The long pole is now attached. It will allow us to... The headlight is attached. The steam whistle is now connected.
Holmes, what can we do to make the steam whistle work?
It is elementary, my dear Watson. We shall need a fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher. Now let us see what we have here. First of all, let us pump the pressure inside the extinguisher. The steam whistle is ready to be used. Watson, I do believe that we have created an exact replica of the train that vanished in front of us last night. The criminal mind can be most inventive. I am somewhat in awe.
So such a thing is possible. If someone went to all the trouble of creating this fake train, then it was surely with the intention of stealing the real one.
Ah, Watson, you should not jump to conclusions. In fact, this does not tell us very much at all, except that the train did not evaporate into thin air.
Although you half suspected it.
Ah, at any rate, we now need to find where the real train might be hidden. I suggest we use my archives to find a more detailed map of our surroundings.
Well, I hope that justifies our having to load your massive archive suitcase onto the cab. It made us extremely unpopular with our driver.
Does that mean I chose this one wrong? Wait, have I lost one?
Now we have two maps. We must combine them. Here it is. There is a side branch to the railway. Its first switch is located between Bridlington and Chesterfield stations. There is one more station to be visited. It is located between Chesterfield and Evesham, and there should be a side railway to the nearby quarry. There is a small section of a railway at the end of Evesham station. This suitcase contains my archives. We can consult with it if...
So I am now... Wait. This is the railway switch. There is one and here is one. So this is nothing. Then we go to this one. Check inside first. Which again contains nothing.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. John Watson. We are investigating the case of the vanished train.
Is that so? Well, good day, gentlemen. I am Mr. Duff, the station master of this station. I'll be happy to help you in any way I can, but there's not much that I can tell you about last night.
Why does it look so angry? If we find that button somewhere.
Did any passengers leave or board the train last night?
No. I saw no one as usual. I reported the train's passage by telegraph. Just the same as all the other nights.
Goodbye, sir.
Holmes, look. There's a flooded area over here.
I believe that the flooded area might be worth checking.
Yeah, in a second.
Railway post bags.
Oh, some more.
This post bag belongs to the station master.
That's questionable.
The station master appears to have found himself in some financial... It appears that you may be at risk of some flooding along the line here.
You mean that the whole bloody lake is at our feet?
Quite so. But it is strange, because according to my map, there should be a quarry here, and behind that, the lake.
How should I know? I only arrived here a few months ago.
And where did you work before that?
Well, I was working in Nottingham. But I asked for a quieter place, so they transferred me here. Life is cheaper. I can't really complain.
Goodbye, sir. It is obvious that we cannot inspect the quarry. Instead, we can check the beach area around the flooded lake.
A funny character. He looks anxious.
And he is...
Where has he gone? Mexican.
This scent is familiar to me, but in order to...
Isn't that right? Is it upside down?
A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. Ricardo.
You already know the name of this man? Holmes, you amaze me.
No, Watson, I refer to the cigar. It is a Ricardo Turrent, a Mexican cigar of an excellent quality. Quite an expensive one, too.
Newspaper articles on horse racing. Hurdle, steeplechase, and flat racing. He is a true enthusiast, Holmes.
So he got paid money. Or that's how he lost his money.
Betting slips for horse racing. The sums are quite impressive.
It can be an expensive vice. This man had probably used all his savings.
A telegraph.
Wait, I'm going to check if that guy is on the other side. Nope. Move, Watson.
This railway the rail is rusted and looks old, but the railway is still usable.
Oh, they drove it in the water.
The switch.
The whole train just disappeared.
The railway ends here. That is strange.
That is strange indeed.
I observe that you are a gambling man, Mr. Duff. You had hoped that your relocation to this small town might have helped ease your addiction, but it was not to be.
I beg your pardon? Addiction to what?
We found a number of horse racing tickets inside your office. Well, well, we all have our weaknesses. An expensive obsession, surely, for a station master.
It is none of your business. I occasionally attend the races with my colleagues. And anyway, that's my private life.
Goodbye, sir.
You'll find nothing interesting.
was another spot, I think. I still have to go here.
The switch is rusted, but it still works. Mines. This is interesting.
Oh, of course they couldn't have sunk it. Sunk it. Because they needed what was on the tree.
It would be quite possible for someone to read.
Let's have to check. We'll keep it like that for now. Oh, so maybe it has been sunk afterwards. That could be. What the hell?
Here are the mines, Holmes. They appear to be abandoned.
For now.
Nothing interesting. The distance between the tracks is about 4 feet 8 inches. A lightly loaded vehicle came this way. There is a wooden beam lying on the rails. A small vehicle with wooden beams went down this way.
This is an administrative panel. See what it says.
This is an information sign. It might contain some... Watson, you are a gentleman.
And where is your own?
I haven't the faith.
Very well.
WEA coal. These mines belong to them.
This mine has completely collapsed, Holmes.
It is curious, but to be truthful, I am not entirely surprised.
It's difficult to follow you, Holmes.
This is an unusual kind of paper, stiff and dry. It was used for a specific purpose. Let us look inside. Sawdust. I am almost certain it is a... Watson, could you assist, please? Do you have your pistol? Good. Fire at this package.
Oh, come on, I swear this fly is dying.
Dynamite.
Someone removed these screws, most probably to take down the rails. A few feet of the rails have been dismantled.
The metal
This box must be the safe. Let's open it.
I didn't even touch that last one, but okay. I'll take it.
The Mexican company Caracao and the Chilean Barcazas both want to buy the mines. I need more information. Perhaps Mycroft could help.
Mycroft.
Here we are at the beach that is located near the quarry and Doncaster Station. It doesn't look like a very good place. These traces were made by carriage. Look. The vehicle pressed this stone into the ground. It would have been quite heavy. Nothing interesting here. The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches. The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials.
Same as at the
The
other
traces found at the disassembled shed near Evesham and at the lake were from the same vehicle. An advertisement for lake cruises. Observing the coastline and the moored boats, we are able to see that the lake's water level dropped. The lake has flooded the quarry. The dam was probably breached. This place was abandoned fairly recently. An abandoned gypsy caravan. A label with the name Las Zarpas.
The whole train just disappeared. It's unbelievable.
Okay, we'll go back to the previous places, talk to those people again, see if they have something new. Alright.
The entire train has disappeared. It's a...
This road should lead to the town.
Don't...
It's a scandal. An absolute...
Holmes, how is...
I will not move from here until I receive...
I've no clue where I have to go. Neither do I know how I can contact Mycroft.
Ah, will I ever get any peace?
No, you won't.
This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. Apparently, there was a conflict between the Mexicans and the Chileans. This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. A greenish-brown cigar with a... These ashes and cigar stubs are similar to the one that we found on the floor. Some of the stubs were recent...
That means that the fellow spent several days here.
Well concluded, my dear fellow. A man who smoked the Ricardo brand of Mexican cigar spent several long days... There was a gentleman of Mexican origin, I believe, in the waiting room. Did you notice him?
What? A Mexican? Here in the back of beyond? Are you quite sure about that?
Goodbye, sir.
Are you
Watson,
serious?
it seems that both South American companies were involved in the purchase of the mine.
The man at Doncaster who fled our approach, he smokes Mexican cigars. Perhaps...
Yes, Watson. We should certainly speak with him.
Where is he? Oh, now he's all of a sudden back in.
Please, sir, we would ask you not to leave. We have some questions.
Are you the police?
No, we are employed by the railway company. We are collecting witness statements about the train that disappeared last night.
Lo siento, I'm in a hurry.
Really? It seemed that you were waiting here for someone. Could you tell us if you were at the station last night?
No, I just arrived from South America.
A formidable journey, no doubt. Which country are you from?
De Chile.
Chile, but you are Mexican.
No, you are wrong. Why would you think I'm Mexican?
Because of your cigars.
Sí, cigarrillos. So what?
Those cigars are the Ricardo brand, from Mexico. It is quite impossible to find them anywhere but there.
Pero not your business.
I don't suppose that you are on vacation. What business brought you here?
I was to meet my fellow compañeros. Where did you arrive yesterday? They were on that damn train. I will stay here and hope that the authorities find them, or their bodies. It's now my responsibility to repatriate them.
Who authorized you to do that?
The company I work for.
Could you tell me the name of the company?
It's not your concern.
And what is your name?
Enough questions. Buenas tardes.
Not a very friendly man, and he is lying. He's...
You'll find nothing interesting here, I'm afraid.
Which one? Does that matter? Yes, it
I
doesn't.
asked Mycroft to find out some information on the WEA Coal Company. Here is his reply, and it is an interesting one.
Come on, this frickin' fly.
The whole train just disappeared.
So what now? The special wagon. even going to find out that?
The entire train has disappeared.
Ah, will I ever get any peace?
Watson. Jesus, can you fucking move?
Holmes, how?
Alright, I have no clue where to go now.
I will not move from here until...
It's a scandal!
Don't touch anything, please.
Okay, how am I supposed to know what was in the train? If I could enter this place. But of course I can't.
Holmes, how is it?
How am I supposed to discover what was in it? Come on. How am I supposed to know where I can go? Jesus. Can't this game give me like a hint of where to go instead of letting me run around for 2 hours?
The switch is... The switch is rusted, but it still works.
Oh wow. Are you serious?
My search should be focused upon the name. My search. My search. My search.
You're not gonna tell me it's between art. Wel zag pas. Jesus. Does this to do with art? Nothing. Simply
Here it is.
nothing. Jesus, this fly, I know, man, I'm going crazy. Mexicans' inhumanity towards the children has cost many lives. We must act quickly. Contact Lestrade and allow the police to perform their loud and swift justice. Even at the rate of international conflict, a criminal organization such as this cannot be confronted directly. Give Mycroft the chance to resolve the conflict, even though it might be protracted, and turn to his own advantage. True. If you call on the police, they will just start shooting at each other. That's what might happen now as well, but we'll hope for the best.
Then the case is solved, Holmes. What do you intend to do?
Well, I shall require assistance for the arrests. There were accomplices.
Ah, but I know that look. You have your own ideas. What are they, Holmes?
On the one hand, we have the local constabulary and advice from our friend Lestrade. The problem we have there is that the authorities seem to be incapable of acting quietly. They rely on brute force. It could result in an international scandal. Our other option is Brother Mycroft and his tedious political games. He will locate the guilty parties without any trouble, but it will be a long and drawn-out process, and possibly with some compromise that will be to Mycroft's benefit. But I think I'd prefer to give Mycroft a chance. We should overlook our personal differences on this occasion.
Let us go home, then. I'd like to begin writing a draft of this story.
No, I did not say that we had finished here yet.
Well, all right. What did I miss?
Watson, We know that the Barcazas Company directors were trapped under the collapsed mines, along with the train and Robinson's prototype. But we still need to corner the guilty party.
But how do you intend to prove... Oh no. Please don't tell me we have to dig out the mines.
Huh. You may rest assured that I have a far better idea. We have only to use our corrupt Doncaster station master as bait. He will unwittingly trap our Mexican friend.
Of course, you already had a plan. I shall follow you, Holmes.
Well, the case is solved, and we shall be heading home. May we have 2 tickets to London, please?
Right away, wait a minute. You've solved the case?
In a manner of speaking. Can you believe that the rescue service miraculously saved one of the Chileans who were on board the train? The police have ordered his immediate escort to London on the next train.
He pulled through, then? He's alive?
Yes, by extreme good fortune. His condition is quite serious, and the method of transportation has its risk, but he will be held securely by the doctor and police officers. The gentleman carries some vital information on this case. I am sure of it.
Ah, really?
Your station will be famous, Mr. Duff. The journalists will be here before you know it. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba! You traitor! You double-crossed me!
Oh shit.
Holmes, I had to do it.
It is all right, Watson. He got what he deserved.
Oh my God! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence.
Around his hand,
After I returned from Afghanistan, I vowed never to take another human life.
Watson, you did in fact save a life. You should focus on that. Now come, there is still much to do.
Alright, so I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next episode, in which we will start the 3rd story, I think. Yes, the 3rd story. 6 in total. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. Have a good day.